Hey everybody, I hope you had a great year. I just wanted to let you know that I'm still here. I've been pretty much locked down in work, doing a lot of stuff there, so I haven't really had much time for research. But being that this is that time of year, I thought I would share something real quick just so that you might take a look at it and contemplate a little bit. So Christianity is very similar to what we see in other religions. It's just told differently with a different narrative. It's a different story. But we see that the verses that are assembled together are actually borrowed from and taken from other things that date all the way back even before Christianity. We see these same things in ancient Egypt. We see them in Gnosis as well. In Colossians 1:16, for example, Colossians 1:15, where it identifies what Christ is. We can take a look at all these different Bible versions. What's good about doing this is that it allows us to look at the different ways people have interpreted these texts, and it gives us a better understanding of what we might be thinking about. In this New International Version, it says the Son is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. Here it says Christ is the visible image of the invisible God. So in other words, Christ is something that you can actually see, and it's visible, but it is a copy of the invisible. And this is something that Plato described for us a long time ago. In the archetypal realm, in the spiritual realm, when we have the invisible forms that are existing, the visible form are basically a copy of that, but it's not a perfect copy. It is a copy of what is in the invisible realm. So Christ is the invisible image of the invisible God. He existed before anything and was created and was supreme over all creation. He is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. And when we think of the firstborn over all creation, cosmos, we think of the first thing that happens in a cosmos are the production of stars that usually come from nebula or black holes or these types of things. And there's many of these throughout all over the universe, but it's the firstborn over a system of creation. Down here in the King James Bible, it says, the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature, which gives us an understanding that there's this as above, so below correspondence between man and the universe. Because up here it's over all creation, down here it's over every creature. So the firstborn of every creature, or the firstborn of all creation. Now there's a similarity between what we see here and what we also see in the Gospel of Egyptians. In Colossians 1:16, we see several verses, all pretty much telling the same thing. For in him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities, all things have been created through him. Everything was created through him and for him. All things were created through him. Now let's take a look at the Gospel of the Egyptians real quick. The first thing that came into being, then there came forth from that place the cloud of the great light, the living power, the mother of the holy, incorruptible ones, the great power, the Merotha. And she gave birth to him, whose name I name, saying 3 times. For this one, Adamus, is a light which radiated from the light. He is the eye of the light. For this is the first man, he through whom and to whom everything came into being. And this is the same as all things were created through him and for him. He through whom and to whom everything came into being. From a cosmos perspective, this is the nebula that produces stars and a system of creation all the way down to the solar systems and so forth. And it is an image of what's in the invisible realm. So anyways, what I wanted to show you guys is that there is this correspondence that we can find throughout all the various texts. So when you contemplate on what Christ is this Christmas, don't narrow it down to just what you've been told. Use your mind and think. There's many, many texts out here from gnosis to ancient Egyptian texts and so forth that help shed light on the understanding. And of course, beyond that, the symbolism is the best way to help you understand this type of thing. Inside this Proverbs thing, it says Jesus in the cosmos. And it actually has Jesus right on top of the Orion Nebula that you can see right there. Where's a copy of right here. So this also is in alignment with what we just read. The firstborn over all creation, the visible image of the invisible God. So something for you to keep in mind. This particular area of the cosmos was where Osiris came forth as Orion. So all of these things are all in correspondence with each other, all in alignment with each other. So something for you to contemplate this Christmas. I hope you guys have a great New Year, and I'll see you in 2017.